the stability of the system in the frequency domain. So let us consider this problem, example number 5. The Nyquist plot for G of S is equal to G of S is equal to AS plus 1 upon S square in a unity feedback would be. So there are 4 options, A, B, C and D. Okay, so what do you think, which is the correct option here? So first what you will do, now there are 2 poles at origin, right? 2 poles at origin. So in the Nyquist contour, how many regions will be there? In a Nyquist contour, how many regions will be there? So if you see here, if there are poles at origin, there will be 4 regions, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? So as we have seen, this first region mapping is what? Polar plot. This third region mapping is what? Third region mapping is inverse polar plot. Okay. This infinite radius semicircle gives what? The circle which is having the radius 0 in a mapping. So we neglect that part. And this particular semicircle of radius 0 gives which region? That will give you the infinite radius semicircles. Okay. So, and what note we have observed, what conclusion we have observed? The number of infinite radius semicircle in a Nyquist plot is equal to the number of poles at origin. Okay, infinite radius semicircles. So here you can see in our problem, there are 2 poles at origin. So there will be 2 infinite radius semicircles. Okay, 2 infinite radius semicircles. So first you need to draw the polar plot, which will do the mapping of region first. Okay, so how to draw the polar plot? We just convert that into frequency domain. So here we convert that into frequency domain like this by replacing S by j omega. So into j omega plus so j omega square. So this will be minus omega square. So what will be the magnitude? Magnitude would be right. So this will be the magnitude. Now what will be the phase? Phase will be tan inverse a omega minus 180. Okay, so let us find out magnitude and phase at omega is equal to 0 and omega is equal to infinity. So at omega is equal to 0, what will be the magnitude? Infinity, right? And what will be the phase? Minus 180. At omega is equal to infinity, what will be the magnitude? Hmm? 0. And what will be the phase? What is the tan inverse infinity? 90, na? So 90 minus 180 minus 90 degree. Okay, so this will be the mapping for region first in a Nyquist contour, right? So that plot will be like okay. And also we need to find out the ending direction and starting directions, right? So what will be the ending direction? minus 180 minus 90 degree. Okay, so this will be what? This will be plus, then this will be minus 90 degree. So what will be the ending direction, clockwise or anti-clockwise? Anti-clockwise, because negative angle is there. And there is no finite pole near to origin. There is a finite zero near to origin. So starting direction will be anti-clockwise. Okay. So polar plot will be like this. At omega is equal to 0, magnitude is infinite. This angle line is minus 180 degree, minus 180 degree or plus 180 degree. This angle line will be minus 180 degree. This will be minus 90. So polar plot will start from this point where magnitude is infinity, and we will go in the anti-clockwise direction. Okay, anti-clockwise direction. So at omega is equal to 0, magnitude is infinity, angle is minus 180. At omega is equal to infinity, magnitude is 0, but angle is minus 90 degree. So this will be the polar plot. What will be the inverse polar plot? That will be the mapping of region 3, inverse polar plot. So that will be mirror image of it. Okay, so this is the mapping of the third region in an Nyquist contour, right? Now tell me, how many zeros are there at the origin? How many zeros are there at the origin? Sorry, how many poles there are at the origin? Hmm? So tell me the number of poles at the origin. How many are there? Hmm? Are you listening? Am I audible correctly?
Yes, sir.
So there are two poles at origin. Here you can see there are two poles at origin. So we have written note that the number of infinite radius semicircle will be equal to the number of poles at the origin. So there will be two semicircles, okay, infinite radius semicircles in an Nyquist plot. So I will draw two infinite radius semicircles, and I told you that that direction will be like a contour direction, Nyquist contour direction, clockwise direction. And that infinite radius semicircle will start where the inverse polar plot ends, and it will end. So this will be one semicircle. I'm just because of space, just try to just consider it as a semicircle. Okay, so this will be the one infinite radius semicircle, and then this will be the second. So it will start where inverse polar plot ends, and it will end where polar plot starts. So which is the correct option from four options? Option A is the correct option, okay? Because here if you see, the direction is very important. Here the polar plot direction is anti-clockwise, but in this polar plot direction is a clockwise, okay? Mute your mic. So have you understood this problem? I have applied directly shortcut technique here. I have just drawn here. Here, if you see, this type of contour will be the Nyquist contour for that problem. There are three regions: first, second, third, and fourth. The first region gives us the polar plot. Third region gives us the inverse polar plot. And the second region is give us the small radius circle. We neglect that part. And this fourth region give us the infinite radius circle. And those infinite radius semicircle will depend on the number of poles at the origin. So if there are two poles, there will be two infinite radius semicircles. And where that semicircle will start, where the inverse polar plot ends. Okay, so from this point it will start. It will follow the clockwise direction, and it will end at where the polar plot start. Okay, so like this way you can draw the Nyquist plot for any open loop transfer function with this shortcut technique. Okay, so have you understood this problem? Any doubt here? Okay, ठीक. So let us see this example number 6. Now you solve this. So I will explain the problem to you. A contour encircling the poles and zeros in a S-plane is shown in the figure, and the corresponding contour in f of s plane is okay. So in GS plane, what will be the right contour for this particular contour in a S-plane? So can you tell me what is the answer here from A, B, C, D? So I will just. Okay, so can you tell me what will be the answer here? So this is the contour in S plane, and you have to identify the contour in a GS plane. So there are three options: A, B, C, and D. So what is the correct option here?
So option B.
ठीक है, we will see. Any other options? Okay, let us see. So here, so what we do in mapping this particular contour in the S plane, right? And the in the answers you can see that those contours are in GS plane. So the mapping is done like that way. So as we know that the number of encirclement about the origin in a GS plane will be equal to P minus Z, right? So what is a P? Number of open loop poles or number of poles in a contour. And what is Z? Number of zeros in a contour. So P is equal to, there are two poles in a contour. Here you can see. So there are two poles and 1 0. So P will be 2, Z will be 1. So 2 minus 1. So 1. Now N is positive here. If N is positive, so number of encirclement will be 1. But we need to find out the direction also. So N is positive. Means direction will be what? Clockwise or anti-clockwise? If N is positive, direction will be anti-clockwise. So this will be encirclement about the origin. So which is the correct option now? Which is the correct option? Option A will be the correct option, because as we have found out, the number of encirclement will be 1 about the origin, and that will be in anti-clockwise direction. So this will be the correct option. Here you can see this contour is encircling the origin in an anti-clockwise direction 1 time. So this will be the correct option. Okay. So like this way you can treat the problems. Now let us see the stability using the polar plot. Now we have studied Nyquist plot, we have studied polar plot, and how to determine the stability using a Nyquist plot, we have seen that part. But how to determine the stability using the polar plot? Okay, so let us see that. So if you want to determine the stability using the polar plot, that system should be minimum phase system. The open loop system should be the minimum phase system. So what is the meaning of this? All poles and zeros will lie in the left half side of the S-plane. Okay. For those systems only we can apply this technique to find out the stability using polar plot. Now, if you want to find out the closed loop system stability using the polar plot, you just need to determine the enclosement about -10 point. Okay, so this is a -10 point. We need to find out the enclosement about the 10 point. So how to find out the enclosement? Okay, now here you can see this polar plot. Now -1 point is here. Now how to identify the closed loop system is stable or unstable? So if you start walking over this polar plot, if -1, 0 is on the right hand side of you, so that will be called as an enclosement. Okay, so this polar plot is enclosing this -10 point. Okay, but if that -10 point is on the left hand side of you, that is not enclosing. So if polar plot encloses the -10 point, that system will be, the closed loop system will be unstable system. Okay, so this is the criteria. If you start walking over this polar plot, if -10 point is on the right hand side of you, so that system will be unstable system. This polar plot is enclosing that particular point. Okay, there is a difference between the enclosement and encirclement. Okay, encirclement means overall encirclement about this, but this is enclosement. Okay, so that is the difference between encirclement and enclosement. Okay, have you understood this point? If polar plot is not enclosing this -10 point, so the closed loop system will be the stable system. But if it enclosing this particular point, that system will be unstable system. Closed loop system will be unstable. Okay, so let us consider one problem so that you will get the idea about the stability using the polar plot. Okay, just take this the view here. Okay, now here you can see. Consider the following plots of open loop transfer function over omega equal to 0 to omega equal to infinity. And which of these plots represent the stable closed loop system, right? Now, so plot is from omega 0 to omega infinity. So that will be definitely a polar plot, right? So which of this plot represent the closed loop, stable closed loop system? So there are three options: A, B, C, and D. So what is the correct option here? Closed loop system should be the stable system. So which system is stable?
Option A.
A.
Option A, correct, right. So here you can see, option A, if you start walking over this polar plot, this -10 point will be on the left hand side of you. So this plot is not enclosing this point. Okay, so this system, the closed loop system for this particular plot will be the stable system. Let us see the option B. If you start walking over this polar plot, this will be on the right hand side of you. So it is enclosing. So this will be the unstable system. Let us see option C. Here also the same condition. Okay, -10 point lies on a right hand side of you. So here this will be the correct option. No enclosement. Okay, right. So you understood how to determine the stability using the Nyquist plot, polar plot. Now let us see this example. Okay. So polar diagram of conditionally stable system for open loop gain K is equal to 1 is shown in the figure. So what is the DC gain? DC gain is 1 here. Okay. And the system is conditionally stable system. So as you vary the value of gain K, what will happen? There may be the condition where pole will shift into the right hand side of the spin, right? In root locus, we have seen that part. So the open loop transfer function of the system is known to be stable. So what is the meaning of this? The open loop system is stable. Okay. But we need to determine the closed loop system stability. They are saying that open loop system is stable, but you need to determine the closed loop system stability. So for which value of K, this system, for which range of K, this closed loop system will be stable. And they have given us the polar plot here. Okay. Now one thing is there, this is a GATE exam problem, GATE competitive exam problem. So generally on internet, you may find that some people have drawn just inverse polar plot for this, like this way. And using the Nyquist plot, they have determined the stability. But we don't have the open loop transfer function with us. So we can't say that Nyquist plot will be like this only, the mirror image, and then infinite radius semicircle. You don't know how many infinite radius semicircles in that Nyquist plot will be. You can determine that using the open loop transfer function only, because in open loop transfer function only you will be able to know the number of poles at origin, right or wrong. But we don't have open loop transfer function, so you can't find out the answer by that way. That is a wrong method. Okay, so this is the polar plot. So by using the polar plot method only, you can find out the answer here. So here they have given for K is equal to 1, this will be the polar plot. Now we need to vary the value of K. So what I will do, I will multiply each point by K. Okay. So this point will be minus 8K, this point will be minus 2K, this point will be minus 0.2K. So let us see that diagram when K is not equal to 1. So this one, okay. So this point will be minus 8K, this will be minus 2K, this will be minus 0.2K. Now what I will do, I will put -1 point in each region and we'll just check the stability. Okay. And for those region which where I got the stability, for that region I will calculate the value of K. Okay. So let us see, there are 4 regions: the R1 region, R2 region, R3 region, and R4 region. So here you can see, here I have put it -1 point in R1 region. Here I have put it -1 point in R2 region. Here I have inserted -1 point in R3 and here in R4. Okay, so let us see. So the first region. So you need to determine, is this region 1 is stable region or not. So this will be the polar plot. So if you start walking over this polar plot, this -1 point will be on the left hand side of you. So it is not enclosing. So this will be the stable region. So we got that the region 1 will be stable region. Let us see about the region 2. So the region 2 will be on the right hand side. So this is enclosing, right? So this is not a stable region. In this region, system will be unstable. Okay. So let us see the third region. So if you start walking over this polar plot, okay, and at this point, this -1 point will be on the left hand side of you. So this will be the stable region. Okay, you just assume that you are walking over this polar plot and just check on which side that point is. So in this region, it is not including the -10 point. So this is also a stable region. So if you see the fourth region, in the fourth region, -10 point will be on the right hand side of you. Okay, so this will be the unstable region. So we got two regions, the R1 and R3, which are a stable regions. Okay, so if you see R1 region where -8k will be greater than -1, so k will be less than 1 by 8. So for this condition, we will get a stable closed loop system. And the third region is what, where -0.2k will be greater than -1 and -1 will be greater than -2k. So if you just simplify it, you will get a value of k from 0.5. Value of k will be greater than 0.5 and less than 5. Okay, so for these two values, these two ranges of k, we will get a closed loop stable system. Okay, so out of the four options, the B is the correct option, right? Because k is less than 1 by 8 and k will be in this range 0.5 to 5. So B will be the correct option here. Okay, so like this way you can solve these problems very easy. So this will be the correct option. Okay, have you understood this problem? Any doubt here? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. Any doubt? Freely you can ask me if you have any doubt. No doubt? So can we proceed? Can we proceed?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So let us consider this example number 2. Now you solve this problem. The Nyquist plot for open loop transfer function g of s of a unity feedback system is shown in the figure. If g of s has a no pole in the right half of the S-plane, okay, g of s has a no pole in the right half of the S-plane, the number of roots of the system characteristic equation in the right half of the S-plane is, okay. So what they have given the Nyquist plot for the open loop transfer function, and they said that g of s has a no pole in the right half of the S-plane. So number of open loop poles in the right hand side will be 0. So what is this value? This is a p value, right? In that formula, n is equal to p minus z. So it is saying that p value will be equal to 0. So, and we need to determine the closed loop poles, because roots of the characteristic equation are the closed loop poles, right? In the right half side of the S-plane. So can you tell me what will be the answer? There are four options: 0, 1, 2, and 3. All these are gate questions only. So can you find out? Any idea how to solve this? Any idea? Okay, let us see. So now they have, as we have the formula, right? N is equal to P minus Z. So what is the N? number of encirclement about -10 point. If you want to find out the closed loop system stability. Now they have asked the number of roots of this characteristic equation in the right half of the S-plane. So what they have asked, number of closed loop poles, okay? Poles in a RHP. So from this formula, which variable is showing the number of closed loop poles in RHP? N is equal to P minus Z. So which variable is showing the number of closed loop poles in the RHP?
P.
Z, na? Z are the open loop poles. P are the P are the open loop poles, and Z are the closed loop poles, no? Poles in a contour. Nyquist contour is what? Right hand side of the S-plane. And here open loop poles in a contour, so that will be in RHP, right? We have solved the problem on this Nyquist plot and all those things. If you haven't done the previous lecture, so okay. So open loop poles in. So what is the value of P? Open loop poles in RHP. They have given if G of S has a no pole in the right half of the S-plane. So what is the value of P here? What is mean by G of S? That is open loop transfer function only, because our system is unity feedback system. Okay, so G of S into H of S is the open loop transfer function. If H of S is 1, so open loop transfer function will be G of S. So G of S has a no pole in the right half of the S-plane. So what is the meaning of this? Here P is equal to 0. What is the P? The open loop poles in the RHP. We have seen Nyquist criteria. Just a minute. You can watch yesterday's video of a lecture. Here you can see. Here you can see what is a Z? Closed loop pole inside the contour. And in Nyquist plot, which contour we take? This right hand side of the S-plane. Okay. So value of Z is closed loop poles inside the contour. And what is a P? Poles of GH. What is a GH? That is open loop transfer function inside the contour. So inside the contour means in this right hand side of the S-plane. So P is open loop poles. Okay. And what is the N? The number of encirclement about -10 point. Okay, so that is the simple Nyquist criteria. Okay, just we have seen that yesterday. So where we are. So here. Now, so P is open loop poles. So what is the value of P? 0. And what we need to find out? We need to find out this Z. Okay, Z are the closed loop poles in a right hand side of the S-plane. And what is the value of N? You tell me. Now you tell me what is the value of N from this Nyquist plot. You can tell the number of encirclement about the -10 point. If the encirclement is anti-clockwise, we take a positive N. If encirclement is clockwise, we take a negative N. So what is the value of N? Here you can see this is a -10 point, right? So there is a one clockwise encirclement. So here N will be what? N will be -1 at this point. N will be -1. And there will be one anti-clockwise encirclement, this one. So if you just draw a line, right? Just draw a line from this point or here. Oh, here. So here you can see there are two encirclements. So the first one is this, second one is this, like this way. Okay, if you just draw the line, so that will show you the encirclement. So this particular clockwise encirclement will give n is equal to -1, and this anti-clockwise encirclement will give n is equal to 1. So if you add these two quantities, so total n will be what? If you add these two, total n 0, right? Total n will be 0. So what will be the value of z? 0, right? So how many number of roots of characteristic equation in right half of the S-plane or closed loop poles in the RHP? What is the correct option here out of these 4?
Option A.
Option A. Option A is the simple criteria is there. Most of the people find this Nyquist plot topic difficult. It is a very easy topic, okay? Those questions are easy to solve. You just need to know about the Nyquist criteria correctly, okay? Just use this formula just to find out the closed loop system stability, where P is open loop poles in RHP, Z is a closed loop poles in a contour in RHP, and N is a number of encirclement about -10 point. But this is for the closed loop system stability, okay? Very important, closed loop system stability. Now you solve this problem 3. I hope that you will solve this. So here, example number 3, figure shows the Nyquist plot of open loop transfer function GSHS of a system. If GSHS has a no right hand pole, okay, then closed loop system is always stable, unstable with one closed loop pole in RHP, unstable with two closed loop poles in RHP, and none of the above. So out of these 4 options, which is the correct option? You tell me. You solve this and tell me. Have you got the answer? What is the correct option out of these 4 options? Okay. You just if the open loop transfer function has a one right hand pole. So what is the value of P? So what is the value of P?
1.
1. What value of P is 1, right? Okay, so P value will be 1. Now, if you want to determine the closed loop system stability, out of NPZ, which parameter is important? Which indicates the closed loop system stability? Out of NPZ. So here if you see n is equal to p minus z. Okay, so z shows the closed loop poles in the RHP side. Okay, closed loop poles in the RHP side. And n is a number of encirclement about -10 points. So what is the value of n from this Nyquist plot? We need to find out the value of z. We know the value of p. So from diagram, what is the value of n here? How many encirclements are there around -10 point? One only, and that is in anti-clockwise direction. So n will be positive. So n will be 1 because of this. So p will be 1, n will be 1. So what is the z? 0. So out of this 4 option, which is the correct option? Z is a closed loop pole in RHP, which determines the closed loop system stability. Okay, we got a value of z is equal to 0. So out of these 4 options, A, B, C, D, which is the correct option?
A.
Yes, A is the correct option. System will be always stable. So this is the correct option. What we have used? Nothing. This is a 2 marks question if they ask in a gate. This will be the 2 marks question, but how much time it takes to solve? If you have a good understanding of concept, it will not take even 15 seconds to solve this. Okay. So like this way you can solve these examples. I hope that you got the idea. If you haven't got the clear idea, you can watch yesterday's lecture video, so you will get the correct idea about that. Okay, so like this way, we have covered the Nyquist plot. If you have any doubt related to this topic, you can ask me. Otherwise, we can move to the next topic. Okay, so like this way you can solve the problem. So what we have seen generally in this Nyquist plot section, first how to draw the Nyquist plot. So I will just tell you the shortcut technique here. Okay, what shortcut technique I will tell you. Now in the in this problem, what we have done, we haven't drawn Nyquist contour or anything. We know that Nyquist contour is the right hand side of the S-plane, and if there are poles at origin, there will be the 4th region. So if there are poles at origin, there will be this 4th region. Otherwise, there will be 3 regions. First, this line. Second, this infinite radius semicircle, and third one, this particular line. This will give us the inverse polar plot. So region 1 will give us the polar plot, 3 will give us the inverse polar plot. Inverse polar plot is what? It's just a mirror image of polar plot. So no issue about that. And this infinite radius semicircle, we neglect that mapping, because what that will give? That will give a small circle which is having the radius 0. Then what is remaining? This 4th region. Okay. This 4th region is because of what? Because there is a pole at origin. Okay. In S-plane, right? That's why that region is there. And what note we have done here? What note we have mentioned here? The number of infinite radius semicircle in a Nyquist plot will be equal to the number of poles at origin. Okay, so if there are 2 poles at origin, there will be 2 infinite radius semicircles. So if you see this problem, what we have done, we have directly calculated magnitude and phase from the open loop transfer function. Okay, we just drawn the polar plot first. You know how to draw the polar plot. Okay, so when you draw the polar plot, so this red color region is a polar plot region, right? And so that will be the mapping of region 1. If there are poles at origin, there will be 4 region in a Nyquist contour. Okay, so this red color region will be region 1, polar plot region, and we know that region 3 gives us the inverse polar plot, so that will be the mirror image of it, right? We got these two things. Now we just need to see the number of poles at a origin. So there are 2 poles at origin, so number of infinite radius semicircles will be 2, and we start that semicircle. Take a note here. We start that infinite radius semicircle where the inverse polar plot ends at this point. Okay, so we will start that infinite radius semicircle from this point and it will end at here, right? So there are 2 poles, so there will be 2 infinite radius semicircle. So again we will start drawing semicircle from this point and it will end at where the polar plots start. So this is the shortcut technique you can use to solve any Nyquist plot problems. Okay, so that is very important. This is the technique we have seen to draw the Nyquist plot. And about the stability we have seen the example n is equal to p minus z, where n is a number of encirclement about the -1, 0 point. And what is a p? The open loop poles in the right hand side of the S-plane. Okay, and what is a z? Closed loop poles in the right hand side of the S-plane. So there are 2 systems, open loop system and closed loop system. We have seen when loop get disconnected, g of s into h of s is open loop transfer function. And what is a closed loop transfer function? G of s upon 1 plus g of s into h of s. That is a closed loop transfer function. We need to determine the closed loop system using the open loop transfer function. That is the concept here. Because we draw the polar plot, Nyquist plot or Bode plot for the open loop transfer function only. Okay, so like this way we can conclude this topic here. If you have any doubt about this topic, you can ask me. Otherwise we can move to the next topic. Have you got the idea? Any doubt here? If any doubt is there, you can ask me. Okay, this will take a time. When you solve a lot of problems, you will get a good understanding of how to solve the problems. But I hope that this will get clear to you because it's not that difficult, I think. Okay, so can we proceed to the next topic? Any doubt here? Okay. Topic that is gain margin and phase margin. Now these concepts are very important when you see the closed loop system stability. Okay, so what is the meaning of gain margin and what is the meaning of phase margin? We will see that. So let us start with the gain margin. So gain margin is a factor by which open loop transfer function should be multiplied to make the closed loop system marginally stable. Okay, so what is the meaning of this? Let us consider this open loop transfer function GSHS k upon s into s plus 1 into s plus 3. If I draw the root locus for this, in unit 3 we have seen how to draw the root locus. So if I draw the root locus for this, that root locus will be like this. Okay, here you can see the root locus. And if you want to find out the intersection of the root locus with the imaginary axis, what we do? You can use a route table, right, to just find out the intersection. So we found out that at k is equal to 12, the system will be marginally stable system. What is the meaning of root locus? Root locus means the closed loop poles are traversing as you increase the value of k. So here you can see at poles k value is equal to 0. So as you increase the value of k, the closed loop poles will traverse like this. Okay. So here we can say for k is equal to 12, system is a marginally stable system. Okay. For k is less than 12, system is absolutely stable because poles will be in the left hand side of the S-plane. Okay, in the left hand side. And when you increase the value of k greater than 12, pole will shift into right hand side of the spleen. Okay. So if poles are shifting in the right hand side, what will happen? System will become unstable system. Okay, right? So we got the values of k. Let us see if the current value of k is 1. If current k is at somewhere, at some point in the left hand side, k value is equal to 1. So if k value is equal to 1, so by which factor I should multiply that particular open loop transfer function so that system will become marginally stable if k is equal to 1. Because for marginal stability, k value is equal to 12. My current gain is 1. So by which factor I should multiply that particular k so that my system will become marginally stable system. I am expecting answer from you. Hello. My current value of k is 1. Okay. Now I want to make this system as a marginally stable system. Okay. For k is equal to 1, system is unstable or stable? You tell me from this root locus. Are you getting the idea? We have studied root locus now. You don't understood the problem right. At least one fellow should. Okay. Now here you can see I'm not getting any response from you. How will I proceed? You just at least one person should give the response. Okay, when value of k is less than 12, what is a closed loop system stability? That system will be stable or unstable by looking at root locus, you can say. For a k less than 12, what will be the closed loop system stability? Stable. System will be stable, right? No. So if k is equal to 1, system will be stable, right? And if you want to make this system marginally stable, so what I will do, by which factor I will multiply this k? For marginal stability, what is the value of k here? 12.
12.
Right. So by which factor I should multiply this k? Now current value of k is equal to 1. So by 12 I need to multiply this k, right? So k will become 12. So here that multiplication factor is 12. So gain margin is 12. Okay. So what is the gain margin? Is a factor by which open loop transfer function should be multiplied to make the closed loop system marginally stable. So if you multiply k by 12, if k is equal to 1, that system will become marginally stable system. So gain margin will be 12. So if you calculate a gain margin in dB, if you calculate a gain margin in dB, that will be 20 log of 12. So that will be greater than 0, right? So system will be stable system. So it's just like a threshold value. For example, if there is a 100 marks test, right? So if there is a 35 marks required to pass that particular test. So if student got 32, so there will be a margin of 3 marks, right? Now the system is unstable. For example, if you take just take an example the other way, if there is a 35 marks passing marks required, and if student got 38 marks, okay, so 35 is the boundary level of stability. We can say 35 is a boundary level, right? And student got a 38 marks. So what is the margin there? Margin of a 3 units is there, right? If are you getting the concept? Okay. So like that way, we need to push the system to the boundary at marginal stability. So that is a margin, gain margin. How much gain will be required to make the system marginally stable? Okay, that is the basic point here. Okay. Now, if K is equal to 12, what will be the gain margin? Gain margin will be equal to 1 because we need to multiply K by 1 so that system will become marginally stable, because the current value of K is 12 now. So if you multiply it by 1, that will become K is equal to 12. So that is our boundary. This is a marginal value only. That's why gain margin is 1. And if you calculate that in dB, that will be 20 log of 1. That will be 0. So at this point, system will be marginally stable when gain margin is 0 dB. Okay.